Hey guys, Mr. Giant here, you know what I mean? And thank you all for being here and watching this video with me. Now, as you could tell, I have a little fascination with Ireland here, you know what I mean? The more I learn about the Irish influences on the island, the more I want to know more about the country from which those influences come from, you know what I mean? But this one here piqued my interest. The other videos for this week was suggestions by people. This one is one that an extra one that I'm like, this one sounds interesting here. It's an old Irish legend about an Egyptian princess. That sounds quite interesting. Let's YouTube and simmer and see what this legend is about.
Ireland's long history is riddled with folklore, ancient mythology, and ancient societies, which include the Druids, who were highly regarded among the Celts. They were considered teachers, wise priests, and even as magicians. Many stories and myths indicate that the Druids frequented oak forests a lot. Subsequently, the Celtic meaning of the word Druid is knowing or finding the oak tree. Stories of fairies playing pranks on farmers and leprechauns hiding their gold at the end of a rainbow are other examples of legends preserved in Celtic society. The Celts believed the year was divided into two parts, the lighter half in the summer and the darker half in the winter. Samhain, or Halloween, was the division between these halves.
Huh.
The Celts believed that the veil between our world and the other world was thinnest at this time. The day after October 31st, which is Halloween, is the Day of the Dead on November 1st, or All Saints' Day.
Oh, we celebrate All Saints' Day on the island on November the 1st. It's the Day of the Dead, and how we celebrate it is we go to the graveyard and we light candles on loved ones that have passed on. And for some reason, that was a treat for us kids to run around the graveyard. And I remember running around the graveyard, not being afraid of anything. I became afraid of graveyards later on in life, which is pretty weird. Because you think as a kid, I'd be scared of being a place where quote unquote dead people are, but I wasn't until like later on in life, you know, around like when I start right before my teenage years. That's when I'm not anymore, but you know, that just thought that was kind of strange. But then here we go again. Another similarity with Irish customs. We call it All Saints Night also. A little tip, our own little twist on it. On All Saints Night, I don't know if they do this in Ireland. I kind of doubt it, but we eat something called asham, which is roasted corn, grinded up, and you add brown sugar, cinnamon, and a little bit of nutmeg to it. You shake it up and you eat it like that. Oh my God, that thing is so good. It is so good. But yes, hey, I'm glad I watched this. Now, let's keep going here.
When those who have passed away are remembered, and some Celts would wear costumes to confuse the spirits potentially roaming our world.
We didn't.
During the time of transition.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
They did not leave behind a written record, so knowledge of the Druids comes from classical writers of their time, such as the Greeks and Romans, and they were compared to the Aryan Brahmins of India, the Pythagoreans of Greece, and the Chaldean astronomers of Babylon. Julius Caesar wrote that they, and I quote, know much about the stars and celestial motions, and about the size of the earth and universe, and about the essential nature of things, and about the powers and authority of the immortal gods, and these things they teach to their pupils, end quote. That said, there is surprisingly very little that is known about the ancient origins of the Druids, at least as far as academia is concerned. Turning to legend, let us start with one concerning how Scotland got its name. Scotta, in Irish mythology, is the name given in this version of the tale to the daughter of an Egyptian pharaoh around the time of the Exodus, who married someone named Goidel Glass and became the founder of the Scots and Gaels after being exiled from Egypt. Now, Goidel Glass was the grandson of a Scythian prince, one of 72 chieftains who allegedly built the Tower of Babel. Are you still with me?
Yeah,
Good.
I'm with you.
Goidel Glass is credited with the creation of Gaelic, which is the Proto-Irish language, and it's from one of the original 72 languages that allegedly arose from the time of the confusion of tongues, the part in the Bible where God gets upset and destroys the tower and disperses the people, confusing their languages. I admit, these are fantastic stories, but they seem to have been taken quite seriously by European royalty. The size of this stone is about 26 inches by 17 inches by 11 inches, and its weight is approximately 336 pounds. The top bears chisel marks, and there are rings at each end for easier transport. In appearance, insignificant, but to kings and queens, an irreplaceable artifact. It is called the Stone of Destiny. And it has been revered for centuries as a holy relic and fought over by the Scottish and English for some 700 years.
What?
The stone has been used successively by British and other monarchs as a very important part of their enthronement ceremonies. Legend has it that it was transported to Ireland via Spain by Princess Scotta, the eldest daughter of Akhenaten and Nefertiti, also known as Princess Meritaten, who fled Egypt following the overthrow of her father. For those interested to go deeper down this rabbit hole, you can check out a book written in 1939 by...
See, the more I watch these videos, and the deeper I get into Irish history, the more I'm understanding what they've been through. You know what I'm saying? Because here they're linking an important part of Irish history back to Egypt, the princesses and kings in Egypt. And they said in royalty, they hold these stories to be true. Now, because there's no real written accounts of it. The question is, are they just stories, or are they just things concocted to link them with a certain part of the world, thus giving them that, I watched another video I watched was about the Irish farming, and making them immoral because their lineage is different. Could that all have a part to play in it there? And we're not really sure because we have the stories and no real written account of the history of them, per se, according to the videos. All right, let's get going.
None other than Sigmund Freud, called Moses and Monotheism. The grave of Princess Scotta allegedly lies in an Irish valley known as Glen Scoithin, or Vale of the Little Flower, indicated by a road signpost, and the trail from the road leads along the stream to a clearing where a circle of large stones marks the gravesite. As for Egyptian graves, there are a striking number of red-headed royal mummies belonging to the Hyksos pharaohs, a word which meant foreign rulers to the ancient Egyptians. There is no doubt that the Hyksos were foreign to the African continent, as they introduced the horse and chariot to Egypt, and there are no horses at all in the sub-Saharan African fossil record. They also introduced some advanced metal, and there are now interesting discoveries being made regarding genetics.
Well, there's that research that we're hearing today that shows half of all Western European men are somehow related to the Egyptian pharaoh King Tutankhamun.
Not only do half of Western European men have this connection, genetic profile connection, but 70% of men in Britain, which is astounding, but they all have the same genetic profile or same ancestry as King Tut from Egypt way back when. And here's what's really shocking about this. Less than 1% of modern day Egyptians have that same connection. So it kind of makes you wonder, well, if he's Egyptian, but the ancestry isn't Egyptian, how did it evolve? Which way did it move? And it looks like it didn't start in Egypt, but it evolved and went to Egypt and may have started in Europe. And that's why all the Europeans have this background.
Isn't that interesting?
Red hair is the rarest natural hair color in humans, was thought to be the sign of a witch during the Middle Ages, and the distribution of red hair in the world population is about 1%. But in Scotland and Ireland, it's about 10 to 13% of the population that has red hair, with 30 to 45% unknowingly carriers of the red hair gene. This region is also particularly high in rhesus negative blood type, sharing this trait with the Basque, Berbers, and others in an interesting and important topic, which I will continue on in a future presentation. My name is Robert SEPEHR. I'm an author and anthropologist, and would like to invite you to join me in awakening from a long amnesia. Species with amnesia, our forgotten history. Gods with amnesia, subterranean worlds.
Wow, that was quite interesting there. So, did those group of people in Egypt originate from those people in Europe, or did the people in Europe originated from the people in Egypt? Were there great movements that is not recorded that created those genealogical similarities that nobody's known or have actually paid attention to, you know what I mean? Because there had to be movements that people didn't know about. Tribes and people who traveled that nobody paid much attention to. Especially if the numbers were small enough. And small enough that nobody paid attention, so then they assimilated into the population quite clandestine, like. Wow, that's pretty interesting. Anyway, man, thank you all for watching this vibe with me and Ting, you know what I mean? I'll leave a link in the description to this video so you could go check it out. If you enjoyed watching this video with me as much as I enjoyed watching it with you, drop a like on the video, okay? And I'll also leave links to videos, more videos on Ireland, and that you could check out the thing. You understand what I'm saying? Thing, just click on it, keep watching. You understand what I'm saying? You all take care of each other, all right? Cool runnings.